Hi and welcome to this week's energy forecast. I am Rachel Thompson Phillips, the creator of the BU Oracle cards and also of the Sacred Oracle online program. This week's energy forecast is for September the 23rd through to September the 29th. The overall theme for this week is review, reassess and reset. Let's go in and dive a little deeper to see where the messages come from. Monday and Tuesday is the card of steps. Wednesday through till Friday is the card of contentment, and Saturday and Sunday is the card of sassy. With Monday and Tuesday being the card of steps, this is about review. Steps is the card that encourages us to be able to review our past, to go in and examine where your past pains come from, what old stories, limitations, old beliefs, and your life's journey. How that has come to the forefront right now. What is it within your past that requires to be healed or gained a new perception? Our soul gives us this beautiful opportunity to be able to review our past so that we can let go of all of these things that hold us back from being able to shine our amazingness. It also gives us an opportunity to gain a new perspective. Sometimes we can look at our past pains to be the catalyst that created a momentum for things to go wrong. Yet sometimes they can also be the catalyst that creates massive rapid change. The thing that comes through with this is about being awakened. Some of our greatest spiritual awakening can come by reviewing our past. When we have a look back over certain situations, we become awakened to there's something so much more, that there is a deeper lesson, that there is something within you that is wanting to go within and discover who you are. And so therefore we go on these beautiful quests of developing a deeper understanding with ourselves that wouldn't have been initiated without these past pains. So everything in our life comes to us for a certain reason, and that reason is for a lesson, and we learn those lessons through experiences, and that's what your past is. It's part of your experiences, and the reviewing allows us to be able to see the lesson. As humans, we love to be able to understand that gorgeous defining question of why does something happen, and the moment that we can obtain that answer is the moment we can move forward. So that is why we have these pivotal points where we go back and review the past, and these will be lifelong journeys where our soul is always, as we're evolving, our soul will always ask us to go back to review the past to see if there's something there that's still holding you back that needs to be released. I like to use it as the analogy of considering yourself as being an arrow. An arrow must be pulled backwards in order to be released to move forward, and the reviewing of going back to your past is the arrow being drawn back, and the moment you gain that lesson is the moment the arrow can shoot forward. So this is a beautiful defining moment. So when we go back and we find that past pains, experience and so forth come up, that perception around being able to ask yourself, what is it that I'm there to review? Rather than allowing yourself to be caught up in the emotions of those old stories and past pains. And this is what helps you to come through for Wednesday through till Friday with the card of contentment, is that you will obtain a deeper understanding around what your lesson is, which allows for you to have so much more contentment within your own self. A place where you can come to and you go, you know what, my life has shaped me into the gorgeous divine being that I am, and I am so grateful. And when we come from a space of contentment, that means that our soul and that human part of ourselves is at peace. And I'm not sure about you, but I think that is something that we all strive for, is to have those moments where we have inner peace within our own self. And this is a beautiful moment when we gain that inner peace, because it prepares us for the new moon that we have on the 29th, which is on the Sunday. So the contentment allows us to be able to see, to almost have that line in the sand where you go, you know what, from this moment on, my life only consists of the gorgeous experiences and the lessons I've learned from there, that I can bring forward that gorgeous information. And how can I access that deeper understanding around these lessons and help me move forward with setting my intentions. How differently will you set your intentions now, knowing that you have an overview to be able to, that you've reassessed where your past has brought you to this moment, and that you are not defined by your past. It's a powerful, powerful message to be reminded of, is that you are not defined by your past. You are only defined by what you do with that knowledge or with those experiences. Your life is only shaped by all of the choices that you make. And this is where the reassessing comes in, because we reassess our life and go, you know what, if these certain circumstances continue to keep happening, we're starting to see cycles and patterns develop. We have that opportunity, because we're in a contented place, to be able to make a different assessment and go, you know what, is this the way that I want to design my life, or do I want to start looking at much more powerful ways to start manifesting and start being in alignment with my intuition, to tune into that gorgeous innate wisdom that is always here to help you. And this is where we have also another layer of contentment, because that reassessment again confirms that you get to design the life exactly how you want to be. And that is a very, very powerful statement, when we can tap back in to realize that life is not happening to you. Life is responding to you. And so therefore, if you show up differently, different things are going to show up, and that you have the power to change any cycle or repetitious patterns that are occurring in your life that you just don't want to have anymore. Never forget how incredibly powerful you are. And when we access that knowledge, and gain that inner peace, that contentment is very, very soulful, and allows us to therefore make intentions with the new moon come from a much more deeper resonance within your own self. The intentions will connect deeply into that essence of who you are, which brings us through to the weekend's energy of the Sassy card. Now, Sassy is an indication where our confidence has taken a little bit of a hit. And sometimes when we have reviewed our past, we can choose to engage in that old emotional state, or allow ourselves to go, you know what, this has been the sum of my life, but it's not all that my life is. From this moment on, I can design it the way that I want. And the Sassy card comes up and says, you know what, it's time to put your good big girl panties on, and if you want something, go out there and freaking go get it. Stop feeling as if there are all these excuses or justifications as to why you can't have them. If you plan for it, and therefore set your intention and bring that energy towards what it is that you want, there is nothing stopping you from having everything that you ever wanted in this world. And this is where the Sassy card is, to be able to, find that inner spunk within your own self, to recognize that the essence of who you are may have been overshadowed a little bit, and now it's time to unleash that and let that out come the weekend. And therefore your intentions your intentions are deeply connected to the essence of you, that truthful, soulful place, that contented, inner, peaceful place within your own self is setting those intentions, not the ego, not the human part of ourselves, but we reside and tap into that soulful place within our own self, and we start recognizing the energy behind the things that we want, and understanding that we need to connect with the energy and therefore harness that energy through the actions that we take, allowing that human part of ourselves to really be channeled towards the action steps. But first we've got to be able to obtain clarity. So with the new moon is on the 29th, very early hours in the morning for here in Brisbane. So you have the opportunity, whether you want to be able to do your new moon intentions on the 28th, or whether you want to be able to do them on the 29th. Tune into what feels right for you. So this is a beautiful time to really contemplate over this coming week as to reviewing where your past is, obtaining closure through the lessons, but then resetting your energy when it comes to sitting down to write down your intentions, and therefore we allow ourselves to stay deeply aligned with our soulful message and the energy that is coming forward this weekend. So, well, not just this weekend, for the whole entire week. So now that you have this deeper awareness around what your soul is calling for you, how are you going to move through your week this coming week? What different decisions will you make? And how will you decide to review, reset, and reassess what's going on for you right at this given moment? Always remember that you are an incredibly intuitive being, which means that your soul is guiding you every single step of the way. If you ever need to seek any guidance, always go within, ask yourself the question that you are seeking, and give yourself permission for the answer to float up into your consciousness, and it will come through signs, synchronicities, in lots of different ways and shapes or forms. And this is where, when we tap into that innate wisdom, therefore we're not feeling like we need to make all these decisions on our own, that we actually have this soulful guidance that is helping you every single step of the way. And this week you really are going to be deeply supported by your soul within this week. So take beautiful moments out throughout your week to just connect in with yourself. Ask yourself, what is it that you want? Ask yourself what needs to be healed. How can you reach that levels of inner peace that you are so deeply wanting to obtain this week? So I hope you all have an incredibly gorgeous week. Remember, the new moon is on the 29th, early hours here in Brisbane, but you have that choice to be able to celebrate the new moon on the 28th or do it on the 29th. And remember, rituals are incredibly gorgeous ways to be able to symbolize these dreams and these goals, and that commitment that you're making to yourself, to your passion, your purpose, to your soulful and human journey that you are here on this earth, and to be reminded that you are an incredibly powerful divine being. Never forget the magic and just how powerful you are. So have an incredibly fabulous week. Much love to you all, and please feel free to share.